Our next question goes to Tom first, and it is this, Tom. There's been much discussion about the county passing a wheel tax or a property tax. Most of the county citizens say they're being told that our county's broke. If elected mayor, what are other ways to generate money other than the wheel or property tax?
Well, Cherie, like I've been talking about earlier, we've only got three options really. You got wheel tax, you got property tax, you got sales tax. The only way for sales tax to carry its end of the load is for people to have discretionary income in their pockets and spend and get it up to the level it needs to be. Now, I just sat through 4 nights, almost 16 hours of county budget meetings, and I was very fortunate to be able to go and attend those. It was a very enlightening experience. And during that whole time, everybody was discussing, well, can we cut this? Can we cut that? What can we do? What can we do to fix these budget woes and fix this budget shortfall for the long term? And not one time, not once during those 16 hours did anybody say, hey, you know what? Maybe we all work together to lower this about to be 20% unemployment rate in this county and get the people back to work. You know, maybe that'll bridge that gap. It was never mentioned. It was never talked about. If we don't set these goals for ourselves, how can we ever achieve them? And this is not even being talked about in the county commissioners meetings. Now, with that being said, you know, you got, like I said, you got the property tax, you got the wheel tax, and about 9 months from what I've been hearing, according to the numbers I've been given, if that wheel tax doesn't pass, in about 9 months, according to what I've been told, some checks are going to start bouncing. And when that happens, the state comptroller's office is going to come in, they're going to take over our books, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to raise both of them. They're going to raise the wheel tax and they're going to raise the property tax expeditiously to get our budget gap closed and to get debt service back to the proper level it needs to be to get us out of trouble and raise our bond rating. And I'm telling you folks, you don't want the comptroller's office to come in and take your county over. We don't want that to happen. Thank you.
That is correct. The only 3 opportunities that we have to fund our county is property tax, wheel tax, and sales tax. And our sales tax is maxed out and cannot be raised anymore except for a little bit in the county, 0.5%, and that would not generate much money. The wheel tax and property tax is our only other venues to use, and the wheel tax rate we suggested at $35. Our newspaper and all was talking about the 100% increase and all this. But it really figures out to less than 10 cents a day on your vehicle to help fund the county back to get it in close to shape that it needs to be in. And I voted for the wheel tax because I thought it was the most fair tax. And like Tom said, we do not want the comptroller's office to come in here and take over. So I feel like that's where we are today. And I hope the people of Gibson County will realize where our county is, and with the low tax rate that we do have, that the wheel tax is the most viable solution to our problem today, and we'll vote for it. Thank you.
Mark, there's much discussion in our county about the county passing a wheel tax or a property tax. Most of the citizens think the county's broke. If elected mayor, what are the other ways to generate money other than wheel or property tax?
A week or so ago, and I was in Humboldt campaigning, and I was talking to a group of men. One of them used to be on the county commission, and he was telling me how, I don't remember his name, but and some of y'all may know this, and Tim probably knows it. Used to, Gibson County had $1 million in a rainy day fund. He didn't say how many years ago that's been, and I don't know. Raising taxes is really easy, folks. That's always been the solution for any government. But the only problem when you go to raising taxes, you're taking money out of your back pocket that you can spend. If you leave the money in your back pocket, you'll spend a whole lot more of it. But you just can't, people are done taxed out, folks. You cannot keep raising taxes, and it's come down to time, and everybody's saying, when somebody mentions cutting something, they say, well, what are you going to cut? To begin with, you can start by using purchase orders and following the money. Follow the money. And I've had county commissioners say, oh, you can't follow all the money. Keith Steele or anybody in this room that knows me, what happens when you tell me I can't? I can. And if y'all let me, your next Gibson County mayor, you looking at somebody that will follow the money and can follow the money.
Thank you.
I feel a rebuttal.
Thank you, Commissioner Luggett. I don't think you want that. Okay, we can stand up here and scream, cut taxes, cut, all you want to.
Stop. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. No, it just didn't do what it needed to do. Sorry. There we go.
All right, I've heard Mr. Renfro talk about cutting taxes. You know, it all sounds good. But what I want to ask Mr. Renfro is, what service are you going to cut? And before he answers that question, I would ask him to go out and talk to a patient with kidney failure that needs an ambulance to take them to dialysis 3 times a week. Tell them you're going to cut their ambulance service. Or I want you to go talk to somebody whose home just burned, and firefighters, men and women, volunteers, mind you, spent their own time and money getting to that fire to try to save their personal belongings. And then came back the next morning and provided those people with food, clothes, and shelter if they needed. Tell them you're going to cut the fire department's out for them. Tell them you're going to close their fire department. Or better yet, talk to some of the survivors of the floods in May and tell them you're going to cut emergency services. Tell them we don't need them anymore. Ask them how much they helped them. Before you decide to do all that, ask yourself those questions, talk to those people, and then ask yourself, is that worth a dime a day? Well, my answer to that is yes, it is to me. It's worth a dime a day. If I call an ambulance, I want a trained EMT to be in that ambulance to come help me and give me assistance. If somebody breaks in on me, I want Sheriff Arnold to send a deputy in a fast car with lights and sirens on it and a loaded gun on his hip that's been trained to shoot it straight to get the guy off of it. That's worth a dime a day for me. Thank you.
Well, Tim's brave. He's losing his last resort.
Use it or lose it.
There you go.
As far as the purchase order system and following the money and losing money, people, we are not losing your money. We have the system we are using. Over half the counties in the state do not follow a purchase order system because of the money it takes to run a purchase order system. We'd have to hire another personnel to run the purchase order system. Yes, you would save a little bit in buying in bulk, but then when you bought it in bulk, then you'd have to get it delivered everywhere. So we are not wasting your money by not having a purchase order system. We might could save a little bit, but let me tell you, we are keeping track of your money, and there's no problem keeping track of it because we do keep track of everywhere it goes down to your last penny.